Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Steve B. Another episode of Manic Medicine. I'm not sure what number we're on. And I'm here again with my good friend Maggie. How you doing, Maggie?
I'm doing a lot better than I was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I bet. And I know. You want to talk about that, or do you want to? Is that what you want to start the video off with? I'm shuffling cards, by the way. This is like one of my coping mechanisms that I usually only do when I'm in the hospital, but for some reason I started picking up my cards again lately, and just looking at cards
I feel
and whatnot.
it. I tap my feet.
You tap your feet?
Yeah, like annoyingly so.
Like in a rhythm and stuff? Or like to music?
Like, I guess to music if there's music playing, but I just mean if I'm in a new environment or if I'm anxious at all.
Yeah.
Like I just tap my feet, and I've actually had people in public like get upset with me, like in a waiting room, because I'm like
is it like a
tapping my
nervous
feet
thing
on the floor.
Do you think is it like a nervous thing?
It's like, yeah, it's like, but it's like
It's like I should be doing something right now, but I have to sit still, and I can't sit still.
Well, I have a dual diagnosis of ADD and bipolar 1, so it's like, you know, it's like a sensory thing too. It's like trying to like stay centered, like you said, like being still and having to like be a human being in a waiting room.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my hands still, I guess.
But yeah, like 3 weeks ago I was hospitalized overnight, and like we've talked about it and stuff, but basically I wasn't taking the mood stabilizer along with my Abilify, and things kind of got out of hand like pretty quickly. Like I called you that day.
I know. I was so scared because I could tell you were going through something, and you weren't like it's almost like you weren't all there. To tell you the truth, it was like you were all there, but like I could sense the franticness in your voice.
I was gone.
Yeah, dude, I was super scared, and you kept calling me, and then not being there on the other line when I picked up. It happened several times. I was like, "What is going on?" And the last thing I remember was you were going. You told me you were going across the train tracks to go get Audrey. That's the last thing I remember. And I don't know if you might not even known I was on the other side of the line, but I could just either that or you were like walking through stones or something. You sounded like you were, going through something physical over there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Decided pretty early on in the episode that I didn't want to drive, which is like fortunate that I didn't drive, because by the time I did make it to the school walking, it was in a full-blown psychosis, and I and tried really hard.
I was just gonna say, if you like, you don't have to say it. You don't have to tell every detail of what happened if you don't want to. So don't feel like you have to. So
I just went from being completely verbal and responsive to just reacting to stimuli.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
You know what I call that? When you're like moving moment by moment, and you're like, you feel like the whole world is like, I call that the dead zone. I mean, it's just something I made up, but it's like the whole world, like one wrong move and you could like fall off a cliff or something. That's what it feels like. And you're like living second by split second almost. And every split second, is it like every split second is you're taking on like an enormous amount of stimuli?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was so triggered by like everyone's movements
Yeah.
Like, I thought that they were coming at me, and
right.
they were just trying to, like, comfort me.
Nah. I couldn't imagine that being, like, on foot, because every time it happens to me, I'm driving. But that's crazy, too. I just drive really slow, though. But that happens to me when I have my panic attacks. I have the same kind of psychosis you do.
That's what it was. It was definitely, like, I was panicking when I got there because I was, like, so out of breath because I don't, like, usually leave my comfort zone and walk anywhere.
Right.
Because I do have, like, anxiety about public spaces, especially, and being on my own alone without, like, a vehicle protecting me, or, like, in a building where there's, like, other staff and, like, things are more safe, you know?
Yeah.
So at little appointments, I feel like okay, but if I ever want to just go for a walk, I get, like, so nervous.
And we're still talking about when you have a psychosis, right? That's what you're talking about.
No, I mean in general.
Just in general, you have that's how bad your anxiety is.
Yeah, I don't go for walks by myself ever.
Unless you're.
And I live in a town where it would be, like, convenient and easy for me to do so. But
yeah, it's all flat and there's businesses everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I know where you live.
But I just got into this. It's called PR Works, and it's a mobile unit that comes to you. It's sort of like your treatment team, but they're not doctors. They're just, like, kind of people that come and hang out with you, or, like, go to the gym with you to work out, or meet with you to have coffee in society. And, like, it's psych rehab, but it's geared towards what you want to do. And I'm really excited to see where this journey takes me, because I want to get back out there and be, like, comfortable in my own skin, and, like, comfortable knowing that, like, I can protect myself if I need to, or not have that always in the back of my mind that something bad is going to happen.
What's the name of that treatment? What's the name of that program?
It's PR Works.
I've never heard of that before. That sounds
new.
Really good.
It's 2 years old.
What company is this through from?
It's
because we're from Pittsburgh. I know you're, like, out further than Pittsburgh, so.
It's in Newcastle. It's based out of Lawrence County.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That sounds like a really good program, and yeah, any program where they can come out to you, and, you know, so that if you have that. Well, it's not always necessarily an anxiety thing, but just the fact that people aren't, like, a lot of people who are disabled are not mobile. You know what I mean? They have a hard time getting from place to place unless they have somebody through, you know, some kind of program where they can come out and drive to you from from whatever the program. Well, that's pretty much what it is, but it's not. But I'm not talking about that. You know what I mean? Whenever the people, it's just a driving program, but it's yeah, but
like travel assistance.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I was thinking of. But anyway, my bad.
A lot of insurances cover that, like that, to get you to appointments and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel blessed that I have a car. You know what I mean? I don't know what my life would be so different if I didn't have a car. Like,
me too.
It's crazy.
It's important to get oil changes when you need them.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta take care of these cars.
Yeah. So that was, like, pretty much what happened with the psychosis, and I don't want to get into, like, a lot of detail about that.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if you wanted to make any kind of segue into you know.
Yeah, like the recovery aspect of it. Like, right now, I'm in recovery again, and, like, I haven't really felt myself until about 3 days ago.
Oh yeah, you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm feeling more focused. I'm feeling more, like, awake, and comfortable, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, like, so on edge and tense. Because coming out of a psych attack, I guess, like, really immobilizes you when you, like, are coming back to, because, like, you're still kind of reeling from, like, the trauma of everything that you were, like, doing or saying or, like, feeling or thinking.
You need, like, some time to forget it. You need some time to forget about it, almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you know
need
I mean?
time to process and let it go.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're so disconnected from reality when it's going on that getting back into society and reality is, like, you can't just jump right back in.
Yeah.
You have to take the time. And I think that that's what was so hard this time around, was that I have a daughter now, and I can't take that time for myself that I needed after my psychosis and I think that's why it took 3 weeks to get where I needed to be, was I needed to take a break from taking care of her. I had to literally leave my house and go stay with a friend for a couple days because I was just so overwhelmed trying to be a mom and be stable.
Right. Yeah, I can only imagine having someone else to take care of, like, and have something like that happen. And you just, like, you're trying to get, and then you're trying so hard to get back to where you were, like, as fast as possible, but you need that time to process and, you know, forget about some of it. It's like, I don't, you know what it's kind of like for me, on just looking back, some of the stuff that I wrote when I was in the RTFA facility, that's going towards this book that I'm working on, like, just reading how my mind was back then, you know what I mean? It's like it seems like it's a different person. It doesn't. It's so strange. And then
it really kind of is, though.
Yeah. And then I have to rewrite that person's thoughts in my book. It's so, you know, it's off the, it's
a weird experience.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing.
Kind of trippy.
Yeah, the last 2 days, that's what I've been doing. And that person was an alcoholic back then that was typing. So I'm writing this alcoholic's, like, life events. And because I don't remember who that person is. I've been sober, like, alcohol wise sober. I've been sober since like June. That's more than 6 months ago. That's the longest I've ever, since I was 15, been sober.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I know, seriously. And it's amazing.
It's not an easy.
It's amazing that I don't get triggered. It's amazing that I don't get, and I do get little triggers sometimes that I want to drink, but, like, it's not. It passes now.
Yeah.
So I know there's more on the line now if I start drinking than there was before. So.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about before, was that with bipolar 1, you are more sensitive to different chemicals.
Like smoking weed?
Even, like, even the marijuana. Like you want to be in, like, a good, comfortable headspace before you start smoking.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be, like, because for me, I don't know so much for you, but
it's been up and down. It's been very much up and down.
It like amplifies the emotion that you're feeling.
Yeah, that's why it's so important that I find the right kind of strain that's not gonna like mess with my level right now. And I'm not talking about like level of high. I'm talking about, like, not mess with
emotional.
Yeah, just the equilibrium of it. It doesn't. I don't want it to, you know, bounce. It can't, because sometimes the smoking weed can have the ability to, like, bounce me in an emotional direction, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't face the day because I need this high. I'm too overwhelmed with this high or something. I need to sober up before I'm able to, go do stuff in public and whatnot.
Yep. So that's why, like, if I do smoke, it's like sparingly, and it's really just kind of like take the edge off a little bit. Like, I don't do it to excess, and I don't do it if I have things to do.
Right. It's weird because some of the things that I need to do, I do better if I have smoked. Like if I'm writing or if I'm playing my
creative stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If you're doing creative stuff, it can help you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like I rhyme a lot better when I'm high.
Do you? It flows. Yeah. It flows a lot easier, and you're able to write stuff faster. That's good.
And then, what about that when you were talking about having to kind of project a persona that like it's so hard when you
talking about what were you talking about the what you look like from the outside? You want to talk about is that what you were talking about? Yeah. It's would you want me to? It's so easy to like for people to look at you and they just look at you at first glance and they're like, oh, this is just a normal person. You know what I mean? He's physically fit. He's like he's well off or whatever. But but nobody knows what's going on in my brain and that daily that I suffer. You know what I mean? Like it's like when if you bring up that you have these things, people don't believe you at first glance. At least me. They don't believe you at first glance that you have all these problems.
They have to like literally see you at your worst before they'll even buy into it. Like you have to hit rock bottom. And then, like, for some people that I've, like, had my psychosis in front of, they're really, like, understanding and, like, they want to help me. But then sometimes, like, people have blamed me for it. Like, I understand to a point because, like, sometimes, like, I haven't been taking the medication as prescribed to me.
Really?
And, yeah, like, I've gone off of meds. And
I can't do it.
Religiously, like, I have been really good on them for over a year now.
Yeah.
But I had some misgivings about the one mood stabilizer, and I wasn't taking it, and then this last episode happened. So it was like eye-opening that I do need it, because I guess like my mood, like the antipsychotic that I take is Abilify, and it can only do so much if my mood's not right.
That's what I'm trying to get on Abilify. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, from your last video.
Yeah, I talk about that. I'm transitioning over from Seroquel. I seriously wonder though if I'm the reason why I'm getting all these panic attacks. I wonder if it's because I'm switching medication right now. Because because I feel like the Seroquel was like my miracle drug. When I started taking that in the hospital last May, my panic attacks completely stopped.
Why did you switch?
Why am I switching from Seroquel to Abilify? Because it gave me tons of weight gain, and then it's like impossible to get it off. I can't. It's impossible to get this weight off. I gained like 25 pounds whenever I started taking Seroquel, and it's like it's so slowly coming off. Like I only lost like 7 or 8 pounds in like.
I gained 100 pounds from Abilify. Like you're not gonna get.
But I heard that Abilify was weight gain neutral. That's what I mean. Who knows? But I guess we're just gonna see. But if I go down one more notch off the Seroquel, if I take one more 50 milligram amount down, and then I really start having more and more of these events happen, my psychosis events happen. If they start happening like every other day or something, then I'm gonna be like, you know what, I might just have to, take the bullet and start taking Seroquel, jack my Seroquel back up, I guess.
I've heard taking metformin along with psych meds has shown that there's like not weight loss, but like weight management instead of like weight gain.
Yeah.
So maybe you could ask your doctor about metformin, because it's a drug that they've used for a while for like diabetes, but they're like seeing that it also helps alongside with psych meds.
Gotcha.
I was supposed to start taking it, but I didn't. So I should probably start doing that, because Abilify really jacked me up.
Shoot.
It's a great drug. Like, it holds me over. I get the injection, so it's good.
I don't know if I've ever said it on a podcast before, but I'm a big non-believer. I mean, well, no, hold on. Let me think this through before I say it. For me, I'm very, and this has nothing to do with like anti-vaxxer stuff, but I don't want to get a dose of my psych meds injected into me. And the only reason why is because when I was on Geodon, I was so freaked out that I wanted to have the ability that if I wanted to, I could just stop taking Geodon and it will go out of my system. But if you have a dose of the shot of it, then it's going to be in your body for like what, a month? Doesn't it stay in your body for a month or something?
Yeah.
It just freaked me out. I was forced by mouth to take Geodon for like 2 years. And like there wasn't a doctor that, like, when I was in the hospital, when I was in RTFA, they wouldn't let me not take, like, if you're in the hospital and you don't take your medication, like you get screwed over, right?
Yeah.
So I had to take my meds, even though it was giving me panic attacks, even though I wanted to kill myself, all this stuff. Like, they wouldn't allow me to allowed me to change medication. Abilify was brought up though when I was in the RTFA. It was brought up, Abilify, and then it never happened. And then finally they put me on Seroquel, and now I'm going towards Abilify. So.
And it's difficult to get meds changed when you're in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because they see you 3 minutes a day, if that.
Right.
And their only goal is to get you out.
Yeah.
Like, their only thought is that they want to get you as stable as they can and throw you back on the streets.
So yeah, so they want you to have like a certain like level of the medication in you, so that's why they keep you on the same medication. They don't want it. It's not like you're on the outside and you can make med changes.
Yeah. And like, you have a doctor and a team that is at your disposal, like trying to get you well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, because you don't really have like, there's some counselors in the psych ward, but for the most part, your treatment team is nurses who are not like usually sensitivity trained. Like, they're just there to get your vitals and make sure that you don't kill yourself. And then sometimes you'll have like counselors, but it's like rare.
Yeah.
To even get time to talk one-on-one with them if they do have counselors in the psych ward.
I'm just pouring myself a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Right after these messages. We should probably cut this in, just because we've been going for like 25 minutes. I don't know when my people are coming, but
Okay.
So I did want to say one more thing, and this is more like talking to myself about like a goal that I have, that is very simple goal, and it's something that I need to do to grow with my mental illness, I think. And that's this. Now I know I have this channel where I talk about my mental illness all the time, but a goal that I need to have is when I'm like in a social situation, like outside of here, in public, blah blah whatever, like I don't need to tell people my whole life story every time I meet a new person. Like I don't need to like rub it in their face that I have a bipolar 1 diagnosis. I don't need to go into every little detail of everything. You know what I mean? People can have a little bit of mystery when I first meet new people. So that's like a goal. That's a goal that I have for this year, is to, you know.
I like that, because it is hard to know what is like appropriate to tell somebody about yourself, and like setting boundaries, and like being honest but not being too like forward.
Yeah.
And it's not easy when you have like, you know, something as severe as like a psychosis, where things can get really unpredictable really quickly, and to not want to like share that with somebody. And especially like if you're like trying to like make a relationship, whatever kind of relationship that is, with that person. But I agree that like not everyone on the street needs to know that you are, unless you're trying to like spread awareness about it. I think that that's different than just feeling obligated.
That's different though. Spreading awareness is different, and that's, you know, you can spread awareness without
spilling the beans,
spilling every little bean that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, because I frequently go to the sauna at my gym, and you talk to people, and I don't even need to tell people I'm freaking in a band. I don't need to tell people I'm a musician, anything. It's not pertinent to every conversation I have, every time I meet a new person in the gym, wherever. You know what I mean? But have we talked about everything?
Yeah. Just sign us out.
All right. Manic Medicine.
It was good talking to you as always, Steve.
It was always good talking to you, Maggie. You're my bipolar twin. High five. Go us. All right, man. All right, peace out.
We're gonna get through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it. See you guys. See you, Maggie.